Well, hello and welcome to another edition of our show here, where today we are actually in our backyard because it's a beautiful day outside. What do you think of this, sweetie?
This is the weather of heaven for sure.
Absolutely. This is a great setting. It's not too hot today. Unfortunately, you have to deal with the elements like the fire whistle that's going off right now. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not, but that's what you get when you go outside.
And the flies.
And the flies, a little bit of bugs.
But you know what? We're just happy that our backyard is usable this year because in the past, we've kind of, would you say we've neglected? Neglected, I think is probably the word. I mean, not to put the fault on my husband, who is the mower.
Now she's actually picking on me because
Yeah.
we're having some problems right now with our mower. And I don't mean me, I mean the actual mower itself.
But we've never actually had grass, as they say.
That's true. Be careful where you put those quotes, sweetie pie. It's going to sound funny.
Well, we have green things, some green things growing
Yes, that's true. We do have
on
green things.
the lawn area, where most people's lawn area would be.
Yes, which is called the yard, but it's not grass. It's I guess they're weeds.
A combination of weeds, moss, and like whatever can survive grubs. I
Yes,
think is
that's
probably
pretty much what we get.
Yeah, but this year we actually had a company come and they put down seed, and
Yes.
we watered it. We did water it faithfully, as
Yeah.
well as our neighbors. Thank you very much for also watering it.
Thank you, Bob and Judy. If you're watching. While we were on vacation, they took care of our yard.
But it worked, and the only problem is now you have to mow
The lawn.
the lawn.
Yes,
In the
that's the
past, it
problem.
kind of like whatever weeds were there kind of stayed short enough that we could
Right.
get away with not mowing
Like
it.
the maximum height of whatever the weed was like 4.5 inches. That's perfect. So I think I mowed it last summer. Not kidding, one time the entire summer. So
Our
we
neighbors
got a little bit
warned us,
spoiled.
like you realize.
if you
plant
plant grass,
grass-
seed, you're going to have to mow the lawn. So
I actually, because we would get a couple long weeds, and I would just go with a pair of scissors and just cut them
Yes.
off because that's how little we had to do. But anyway, we're very excited. We did a couple projects. We did like a couple little paths around the house. Maybe we'll show you later or in another episode. But we planted some flowers. I don't know if you can
Yes.
see like right.
well, up here in the you can't really see them. Maybe I
There's
can
one.
back
You
up
can
a
see
little
that
bit.
little red right
Well, there's a little
here.
bit. Okay, well you can see the
Okay.
flower box right over here, Exhibit A.
Right.
Now that flower box right there actually had some beautiful flowers in there. They were actually red. What are they? Geraniums.
Geraniums, yeah.
Geraniums, but I don't know what happened to them. The plants are thriving and growing, but the flowers are completely gone. So we have a theory that nothing in our yard can survive. For some reason, things always die. So I don't know what happened there, but things are already starting to die.
But
by the
tiger
wayside.
lilies grew in the front this year.
Yes, we've got
our
some-
impatiens are doing really well. These weeds over here are blossoming some kind of purple.
Yeah, I don't think we can
Oh, you can't see them. but,
quite see those, but we'll do a little tour around
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get a little bit more of those.
And once we do the patio, because I'm a little embarrassed about what we're actually sitting on right now. But
Yes, I don't think you can see
It
very
could,
well. No, you can't see
no.
very well. But
it could be a little more groomed, I guess you could say.
a little bit, yeah, I'd say so. It's funny, the lawn company came by a week or two ago to spray for weeds. And I said, sir, do you realize if you spray our yard for weeds and kill the weeds, you will have nothing left. That's all our yard is. And he assured me, don't worry, it won't kill all the weeds at once. We have to do this in a couple of stages in order for everything to kind of come together. So eventually you actually have all grass. So
We were also a little nervous because we have kids, like just about the like the toxins and the whatever they were gonna put down on the lawn.
Yeah.
But they assured us that it's okay. Whatever
Yeah.
they weed with and whatever they
safe
fertilize
as soon
with.
as it's dry within an hour. It's safe for the kids to walk on and stuff. Of course, we keep them off extra time just to be safe. And because we live by a lake, it has to be phosphorus free. So that's the key to make sure that being a lake community, you're not using phosphorus because that gets into the lakes. Everything runs into the lakes, and then that can cause algae and stuff to grow. So anyway, now the yard is getting quite lush. Now I mowed it, looked great a few weeks ago, and then you know what? I went to start the mower a couple days ago, and it won't start. It just keeps turning over and gets going about 10 seconds and conks out. So now,
Would you say you're a mechanically minded individual, sweetheart?
mechanically minded. Now, I have a mind that wants to be mechanically minded, but I can say that my calling in life is not machinery, nor is it, being the best handyman. I'll admit that, right here with all you fine people.
Yeah.
Because I could see the tone of her voice, and she's trying to say, sweetie, I'm not going to call this out, but why don't you call yourself out? Because that'll sound better than if I say, oh, sweetie, my dear husband of 9 years.
9
actually.
years we celebrated this week.
That's right. This is our special anniversary show, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah.
9 years. So this is officially our 9-week wedding anniversary this week. We just
9
celebrated
years.
9
It just
wedding
feels
anniversary.
like 9 weeks
Feels like
because
9
we
weeks.
love each other so much.
Yeah, but right, sweetie. Oh, 9.
Aww,
9
9
glorious years. What were you gonna say?
Wonderful. I was going to say wonderful.
Oh, okay.
So 9 years and 3 children later.
3 little girls, all ladies in my life. I have to tell you, we got our
Um,
3 girls that are.
marital bliss. But what I was
Yes.
going to say is Brian may not be mechanically minded or handy, but but he has many other excellent qualities that any woman would be so privileged to have in a husband. So
Wow. Okay. Well, that makes me feel so much better.
it doesn't matter. And we figure it out. Whatever we have to get done, we figure it out. You know?
Yeah, very much get it done. Thank God for Pam's parents, I have to say, who have helped us tremendously in a lot of our projects,
Yes.
as well as a lot of our friends and friends from church, from our neighborhood. People have come literally to our rescue many times.
Yeah.
In fact, one couple has come to our rescue many, many times. But we'll talk about that another day.
P&G.
P&G.
I'm
I was
using
thinking
initials.
of M&M. I know I'm thinking of M&M.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay.
We'll talk about
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
That needs to be an entire show.
That's an entire show.
With an interview of them.
We should have a thank you show
That's a great idea, sweetie pie.
to all the people in our lives that have helped us. Because, we were just talking the other day, like, when somebody does a really big favor for you, the best thing you can do is to pay it forward to
That's
somebody
true,
else.
yeah.
Because you don't, just paying somebody back it's really not the same. Like, when they help you out, they expect you to help somebody else out. At least that's how I would feel.
Yeah.
Helping somebody, I'd rather they used what I gave them to help somebody else than, like, somebody helped us redo our house in a way that we never thought we could do. I mean, it used to be 3-bedroom, 1 bath, which with raising 3 girls, that 1 bathroom's not
It would have been tough.
do the trick.
It would have been tough for me, for sure, to try to ever get any bathroom time. That's for sure.
And so a guy who does, this construction as almost like a ministry, helped us to transform our home without changing the footprint of the house into a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. So I hope we paid them back at least a little bit, but
Hopefully.
I feel like we now use our house more to, bless other people. So I think that's kind of like
Yeah, we're kind of paying it forward in a different way.
right.
But life is so crazy, it's hard for us to get out and physically help other people. Especially now that I'm home with the kids, the 3 girls, and Pam's working. Life is a bit insane.
That's right.
So,
He's a stay-at-home dad.
my stay-at-home dad, yes. Things are, I call it blessed insanity because I couldn't be more blessed, but life could not be much more insane either.
No.
So, which reminds me to explain why we have an entire row of peanut butter on our little seat today. Oh boy, here comes.
Found the mouse again. I trapped him.
Oh.
You found the mouse?
Speaking
What happened,
of
sweetie?
insanity,
Come closer, Jill. Say hello.
you can come right here. Come right between us, and okay, there you go. You can say hi.
Hi, this is our daughter Jillian here. Jillian said you just saw something in the house. What did you see, Jill? Speak nice and
I
loud.
saw the mouse and I trapped him.
You what? You trapped him?
Yeah, I trapped the mouse and I want to show you. He's I trapped him like in with the suitcases and the bin.
Is
I
he's stuck in between the 3?
Oh, he could probably get out of that.
Yeah, he might be like that out of that. But you actually saw him again?
Yeah.
Okay, so this little mouse has been sneaking into our kitchen, and
He hasn't been sleeping.
Okay.
like downstairs.
Well, we've been seeing evidence that he's been sneaking into our kitchen because of all the droppings on unfortunately, on our countertops. Not to gross anybody out that came over for dinner recently, but we're in the process of dealing with him. So.
Yes, we got a company for that too.
Yeah. So Jillian, I was just telling the story about we went to the grocery store and what we got lots of right here. And
Peanut butter.
peanut butter. Here, come back over here, sweetie. So this is an interesting phenomenon that Pam and I love peanut butter, as you can see right here. So I think we pretty much can finish off almost a jar a day. Would that be about right? Maybe a half a jar a day?
Yeah, probably half a jar a day.
Probably half a jar a day, just in a normal day of the week. So we went to the grocery store, and I brought all 3 girls with us. Jillian, who's going to be 7, Caitlin, who's going to be 5, and Molly, who's going to be 2. And went into the grocery store, just me and the girls, and I went to go get some peanut butter, and I just started loading them in my cart, and I was like, what am I doing? We don't need just a couple of jars. We need a whole case. So I literally picked up the whole entire case of peanut butter off the shelf and just dropped it right into my cart, and off we went. So,
Tell them what a lady said to you.
a lady said to me, are you buying all this food? Like, my cart was overflowing. Are you buying this cart for you, or is this for like other people too?
Like, are you gonna give some
Are you going to give
away?
some of this away? Which convicted me a little bit that maybe we should be giving some of it away. But I was like, no, this is just for our family. This is just,
Because there's nothing more frightening in this entire world than finding out that you're out of peanut butter. That
Yeah,
could be, I mean, that could ruin your day, your week.
Right.
You may never get over it. So we just make sure that we have, at least 18.
18 jars and counting. That's pretty much the theme of our life. Come here, sweetie. Jill, go over here. Oh, Jill, come here. Let's show them. Come here. So because we like peanut butter so much, I've been getting a little bit more adventurous with what I put peanut butter in. Hey, Jill, come here. Tell me what you think about peanut butter. Jillian's our one child that maybe isn't quite on the same page with us with
She'll come
peanut
around.
butter, but we're going to work
She
on
will
it.
come around.
Jill,
I'm
what do you-
starting to like it.
Yeah,
Starting
see,
to like
she's
it more?
coming around.
Now what I have
As you
here.
can see, Jillian's been in makeup.
Yeah, I think they got into mommy's makeup a little bit this morning. And I see another little munchkin in the surrounding area here that's also possibly been into some makeup. So I have to say, people eat peanut butter on apples, right? Would you all agree with me that that's a pretty normal thing?
Yeah, although Jillian would not agree with you, but
Yeah, Jillian's the exception. She's not really into the same way as we are. Now, that kind of grew from apples to me putting peanut butter on applesauce. What I did was I took a
I can
spoonful of peanut butter and I didn't mix it in. I just per se kind of left it on the spoon, and as I dipped it into the applesauce, just kind of tasted it. It was
very specific.
quite good.
Yes, honey.
So I highly recommend that. But from there, Jillian's asking mommy private questions. I'll bring this over here. We're hiding our microphone in this big thing of apples in case you didn't notice. So after that, I kind of started getting a little bit more adventurous and putting peanut butter in my yogurt. So doing the same thing, kind of mixing it around a little bit. And you know what? It's really good. Extra protein in a nice jar of, a nice little thing of yogurt. I mean, it's perfect,
And
right?
this is actually rubbed off on me. And I was eating it the other day in a meeting at work.
Were you really? Oh, yes. It's finally
And
catching up.
Somebody was looking at it like,
Peanut
Uh,
butter.
yeah, and then he's like, that smells funny.
The person in the meeting said that to you?
Yeah.
They don't know what they're
Peanut
missing.
butter and yogurt. Like, are you pregnant? Is there some kind of other excuse? I don't know.
You told them your husband said,
Yeah,
put you up
I
to
said
this?
my husband made me do it.
Yeah. It's all your husband's fault. Blame me. It's all good. So now I've graduated a step further. So it went from applesauce to yogurt, and now it's really hit a new level where here I have
New low, if you
a
will.
new low. Well, listen, like my gingerbread man cup, you have to say it's always, in our house, if it's a dish and it's usable, it doesn't matter what's on it. Calm down. We're talking about peanut butter. I know this is very exciting, but kind of try to contain yourself. So what I've been doing is this is actually like Raisin Bran, like generic Raisin Bran. Has milk in there. I let it get nice and soggy because the longer it sits, the better. Now this is another problem that Pam doesn't like about.
I'm not on board with any of what he's talking about right now. So I'm not endorsing this.
This is not endorsed by the Pam and Brian Show per se, or whatever we call the show.
Hello.
But what I then do is take
My name
a little bit of peanut butter, Jill. This is very important. We're talking about peanut butter, Jill. This is a very serious topic. Now, what does Daddy do with his peanut butter?
He puts it in the cereal.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Ew.
So all you do is you just kind of put a little bit on the side
with
here.
you. Give me
Have
5.
some on the
Jill.
spoon.
Jill.
And just have a little bit of your cereal. Mmm. So good. Now you have the mushiness of the cereal that's been sitting around for a while with the mushiness of the peanut butter. I'm telling you, this is
Now,
like a favorite snack of
This
mine.
man can actually, this is when I don't admit that he's my husband. No, he can actually pour the milk on the cereal, leave the room, go shower and, take a nap, and then comes back,
I contest the nap. Go ahead. Never nap.
and then he comes back and eats it. Like, it does not matter how soggy it gets. In fact, if all the milk had been absorbed by all the cereal in there, that would be like a perfect consistency, which is,
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
we're almost aligned on everything in our lives. Except for this.
Well, there you go. You know what? When I was younger, I used to pour my cereal in the morning, sit it in a
And then
bowl,
eat it for
add
dinner.
milk, just about. I'd let it sit out, and I'd go and get ready or do everything. And I knew it was ready when the milk was completely room temperature, and the cereal and the milk were no longer distinguishable from each other. That's when it was time to eat breakfast. So, anyway, our weird habits. Now, of course, the baby Molly is starting to follow Daddy's, lead. So she
They're
says,
so
"Oh, Daddy."
impressionable at this age, and this, really worries me.
That Molly's gonna really enjoy.
Because, when she's in college and she's, leaving her cereal out and then putting peanut butter on it, people are going to be like, where'd you come from?
Well, you know what? I think she might end up being a better girl for it because she'll have more protein in her life. She'll have a better appreciation of things that taste good. I think there's a lot of good that come out of this.
Should we ask the ketchup question? Maybe people would write in.
Oh,
Because somebody just recently said to me that it's a ketchup and egg thing. That since
Yeah, go ahead.
since this show will be aired in New Jersey, not right now yet. Okay, can you wait 5 minutes? Okay.
yeah.
That wasn't a question. Wait 5 minutes. So somebody recently posed the question: do you put ketchup on your eggs? Because apparently New Jersey is one state where this is unheard of. However,
Not in our house.
it started when I was 11. I started putting ketchup on my eggs. A friend of mine introduced me to this concept. And I don't know whether my sisters do or my parents do. I can't remember. I think my parents do.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I just never knew to do it until I was 11. But Brian also grew up in New Jersey,
Mhm.
and he puts ketchup on his eggs.
I do. Yes. So if that's
But
not as
because of
unusual
this
as my
other
other habit.
condiment craziness over here with the peanut butter, I don't know if we can trust his judgment on what to put on what.
So
But
because I did one weird thing, does it mean that all of my condiment, advice is not going to be valid?
I don't know. You guys decide.
All right. Well, you know what? We'll give our email address at the end of the show.
Anyway,
and you can let us know.
If you're from New Jersey and you eat ketchup on your eggs, then please let us know.
Yeah, let us know what you think. So you have a hair fly away. So this is what happens when you get in the backyard. There's a little gentle breeze.
So nice.
So, well, since this is our 9-year wedding anniversary, we have time for maybe one
How much
highlight
time
or
do we
story? I don't know. I think we've just about ran out of time to do my cooking demonstration, so we may end up just having
I
a
thought
chat
this was
today.
your cooking demonstration.
Well, maybe this will be the cooking demonstration of the day. See, as a stay-at-home dad, I've also become the stay-at-home chef. So that's inspired a lot of interesting, creative recipes. This not necessarily being one of them, but perhaps because this will be our anniversary special, this will be the demonstration. Because trust me,
This is the anniversary special.
you guys,
I'm so
if you
excited.
try this, I recommend. This is valid for almost any cereal. It doesn't have to just be Raisin Bran. It could be other kinds of cereal. I'm telling you, just a little bit of peanut butter. I mean, you can see I'm not shy about the peanut butter. I mean, I really dig in there a little bit. Now, I don't know about double dipping. This is my peanut butter in my house. If you don't like it, then...
We should just each put our name on our own
Yeah.
peanut butter.
We
And
have
then
so
just
many.
eat it right out of the container.
Well, this time of year, nobody's sick or anything, so yeah, why not? But anyway, sweetie, enough about me and my peanut butter. Do you have any highlights about our wedding you liked, or our 9 years of marriage you want to share one or two in our remaining few minutes?
Oh, how long do I have? There's just so much bliss that I can't contain it to a couple minutes. Do we want to talk about when we were dating, or?
Oh, sure, yeah, throw that out there. We definitely had an interesting dating experience, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know if we could have time for the full story, but
This could be a teaser,
yeah.
so to speak.
We-
I don't know what that means. It just, she always reads into everything I say, more than I necessarily mean.
Well, because
Well-
when you hear the story,
Yeah. Go ahead, sweetie.
Brian told me on the night that he asked me to be his girlfriend, he said that he...
We'd been kind of just casually dating, and almost like courting or whatever you want to call it.
Right. I would say our dating experience was kind of like a courtship. We didn't actually kiss until our engagement day. We had been dating for 8 months, right?
Right.
8 months.
About 8 months, yeah.
So he told me on that night he asked me to be his girlfriend that was his intention, was to wait to kiss, and so it was I was taken aback at the time, but it turned out to be a wonderful thing for us because we really had the freedom to to get to know each other a lot better than we would have if we were spending all of our time making out. So
That's right. You realize there's a lot more to each other than the physical.
that's why I was laughing about the teaser comment.
Wow. Wow.
Because you're like, I'm not gonna kiss you, na 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 na.
In fact, I think people at Pam's work used to ask her, "Did he kiss
he
you
kiss you
yet?
yet?
Did
How
he
about
kiss you
now?"
yet? And what's wrong with him?" So, I think
It
even
wasn't that he wasn't attracted to me.
I was very attracted to her, which is why I wasn't kissing her, because I wanted to make sure that, I held my ground. I wanted to be sure that we saved everything for the right time and in the right way. I'd say the Lord blessed it quite abundantly,
Yes.
and He continues to, especially because we now have our three daughters and counting. So.
And matching mugs.
Oh, and matching
Show
mugs.
your B.
That's right. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Thanks, Ellen,
is that from Ellen? Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks, Ellen.
for
Great
our,
gift.
for our wedding.
See, it all comes back around. So we'll tell you more about that story.
Yeah, I'm sure
Another-
we'll really get into the details, especially if you're really interested.
Yeah. Oh, and I just thought of one other funny highlight from our 9 years of being married. So one time we went on a little vacation down to Cape May, New Jersey, which is actually a very important spot for us. That's where we have had a lot of special time together and stuff. But we met this really, really nice couple, and the husband was from Scotland. And now I used to live over in England and Ireland years ago, 15 years ago, and have apparently a problem where I
This is
easily
hilarious.
pick up accents of other people, not on purpose, but just
Like immediately, not like after spending some time with them. This is like the first conversation he has with somebody, like sentence 2 that he's talking.
Yeah.
He'll take on the accent of the person he's talking to, which is very amusing, sometimes a little bit embarrassing.
because I often don't realize that I'm even doing it because it just happens very naturally.
I don't know if you should imitate any accents or if it could be. Oh, you could do this one.
I'll do this
Yeah.
one because it was very dramatic.
We don't want to
and
make fun of
pronounced.
anybody's accent, but
No, not in
and
any
he's
way.
not ever intending to do that.
In fact,
but-
when I lived in Ireland for a little while, for maybe 5 months or so, worked in an American restaurant in Ireland, and an Irish girl I was working with said to me one day, she said, "Brian, did you ever spend any time in America?" And I was like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" She's like, "Well, every once in a while, you say something and it comes out very American." I was like, wait, I am American. She's like, what? She's like, you talk with an Irish accent, but every once in a while you say a word that sounds a little bit American. So I'd explained to her that, I'm actually from America, grew up there. So this is not just isolated to just now. This happens all the time. But this particular day, we met this beautiful couple, husband and wife. Husband was from Scotland, very, pronounced, accent. So I said to him, oh, where are you from? And he said in a very, very loud accent, he said, what's that, Jill? The mouse?
The mouse?
So we have a mouse in the house that's
Apparently sleeping now.
in our basement.
Right, I can't wait to see after this.
I'm telling a quick story, Jill. So I said to the guy, I said, where are you from? He said, I'm from Edinburgh. And I said, you're from Edinburgh, eh? And it just
It
like
popped
out. I mean, I can't even, Pam just looked at me with this look like horror, and I realized that my Scottish accent was more intense than his at that moment. I mean, he just said something like, I'm from Edinburgh. And I said, you're from Edinburgh, eh? And I mean, is that kind of how it all
It was pretty much like that. Like, it was like he had this, like, Scottish man, like, deep down inside that was just, like, longing to
come out. Yes. So, anyway, I don't mean to make fun of anybody. This happens quite often. Hey, Jill, can you go over here for a second?
Okay.
You're all right. Thank you. Come over by me. Well, so you can come wave goodbye, because it's time to
say goodbye.
time to say goodbye. Well, listen, thanks for joining us on this very special edition of our show from our backyard here on this beautiful day. And we look forward to seeing you all again soon. Please send your your questions to us or comments to, I believe it's brianandpamshow@gmail.com. That's brianandpamshow@gmail.com. So
Brian with an I.
Brian with an I, Pam with a P-A-M. Brian and Pam Show. So thanks for joining us. Any parting words, sweetie pie?
No. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the beautiful summer day.
Yeah. All right. Say bye, Jill.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. For information on any of the topics you saw on today's show, please send us an email at
brianandpamshow@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you. See you next week.
Bye-bye. So you can cut it in at the end.
I am from Edinburgh. I am from Edinburgh.